Hey guys, and welcome to another Fantasy Friday video with me. So today is a review, update, and yeah, basically it's one of those ending of the series videos, if you like. Well, I say ending of the series, you know what I mean. Let's just roll with it. So yeah guys, officially I am done with my Halo diorama, and I've had some good things and I've had some bad things. So yeah, let's talk about the bad stuff first, because I want to get that out of the way in general. You know me, negativity doesn't really float around too much unless I really have to say something or want to say something. In this one's case, I definitely have to say something. So, first and foremost guys, as you are obviously aware, these two warthogs are 3D printed. Now, the guy in question that 3D printed for me, I'm very thankful. So David, if you watch this video, cheers mate, thank you for printing these off for me. And it's a shame they didn't come out as well as we both had hoped. You see, as I mentioned before guys, 3D printing, and I'm no expert myself, hell I don't even own a 3D printer myself, but from where I've been talking to other people with 3D printers and obviously working with other people with 3D printers, you get the gist of where some people come from when you hear people talk about, oh, this went wrong, that went wrong, the filament went wrong here, the design went wrong there, the thing didn't print properly there, the model melted and stuff like that. I really do feel sorry for some of these people because obviously, as you guys know, 3D printing is an experiment. It's always going to be an experiment. Sometimes you can get things come out looking fantastic, and yes, I am looking at you, Mr. Mammoth Tank up there, and a few other projects in particular that we've already showed off on this channel. But then you do get projects which come out okay, but then you feel wanting afterwards. So yeah, I basically am calling this one quits guys, because there really isn't much else more I could work with on these two warthogs. I mean, you probably can see from this angle or one or two other angles that one of them's missing a chair. They're both missing their gun shield plates. Their windshields on both are just well, one's not see-through, one is see-through, but that's because it was a prototype, and obviously the one that did supposed to come out well didn't come out well at all. It just is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, there was the problems with tires. There are problems with a few other things, and that's basically why I'm calling this quits, guys. Because I can't do much when there's no components to work with. They both don't have any steering wheels. You can't really paint in much on the dashboards because the dashboards are sort of there, but they're not. And yeah, I'm not overly impressed with how they've come out at the end of the day, but this is where I have learned a few things, and obviously where I intend to improve. So first and foremost, is this the last time you guys are going to see Halo stuff here on the channel? Absolutely not. In the foreseeable future guys, and I'm hoping to do this in the next video, I've got a list of 3D model projects that I'm hoping to show you. Not obviously built, are on the list which I have put together that I want to get hopefully manufactured and built up and then do the painting and stuff. So hopefully next episode you'll be seeing, I'll be talking to you a bit more about that. But when it comes down to Halo stuff, I'm hoping to get a couple of UNSC ships, including a few frigates, as I've already mentioned before. Would love to get my hands on a model of the Pillar of Autumn. Obviously a couple of Scorpion tanks, the Wraith, the Ghost, maybe a battle cruiser, maybe a carrier, one or two other Covenant vehicles. There are some ideas that I've got floating around, and I have found models of them on the particular website that I have been getting these models from. I do apologise that I've not been able to put things in the description guys. It's difficult on an iPad. I don't know why it's so back to front. I wonder if it's because I'm working with an older iPad. I mean, this is a 6th generation, so maybe that might be the case. Anyway, so yeah, Halo is definitely not done here on the channel. There definitely will be future Halo projects. As I say, Master Chief as well is one of them I'm going to be working on, because no collection of Halo will be complete without the Chief himself. Maybe after. Who knows? So let's talk about the lessons I've learned, and obviously what I'm hoping to put into practice in the foreseeable future. So the diorama itself wasn't something I actually was originally planning to do with these. It just so happened that Colin, you know him and love him, brought over a plaque, which is what we got here, that wasn't really in use. So I had my missus, bless her, she took it to a woodwork project and she basically took off the varnish, the paint, made it as plain as day so I could work with it. And then obviously from there on I was able to do my stuff. So I used toilet paper, a little bit of kitchen towel, PVA glue and some water, and that's what I used for the ground to give it a muddy effect, and that's what I started off with. I applied a little bit of black wash in to give it some shadows so that when later on I got painting, the mud would have some contrast to it, which it definitely does. I also wanted to keep some parts completely flat from the stand to indicate that the warthogs are actually sitting on either a halo ring or something to do with the forerunners. So that's why there's silver around the edge in certain places. Gives it that, vibe that this is not an ordinary natural world. It is built and it is alive. The words, obviously I used wooden words. Originally I was going to paint these up the same colour as the warthog, but they looked a bit too weird, so I went with the iconic white, and then I gave them a bit of a wash and dirtied them up a little bit to blend them into obviously the plaque a bit more, so that's what we've got going on there. I was going to have Combat Evolved sitting around the rim, but the words are too big and it would basically take up the entirety of that plaque, which just looked a little off. So I decided not to do that in the end of the day with that lot. As for the colours, so if you guys are interested in doing what I've done here, I'm very impressed with the colour contrast of this. It's one thing I'm definitely going to try and stick with in the foreseeable future with some future projects. So for that green, I used Colbert's metal, and that's what I used as my base. And I then applied this particular colour, which is a tactical colour from Citadel. Now what you do, you use that and then you pour a little bit of this in a time until you get that green, and then obviously you apply, and that's the end of that project. So I used that green obviously on the chassis. You can't see it too well, but I have used it on the wheels. Obviously you can see they're quite muddied up, so I wanted to try and hide some of the the wheels didn't come out too well as a 3D model, so I mudded them up to get rid of any detail they could have. So these things have been in some heavy some heavy action basically. The base I used to cover both of them now is this one here. This is Iron Warriors, so I used that to give them both a paint job inside and out, so I used that for that. For the interior of the vehicles, both the floor of the gun and obviously the interior of the actual vehicle itself, I used this one, which is NATO Black. I used Black Abaddon originally on the tyres, then I applied a grey, and then obviously I used a bit of brown, which we'll talk a bit more about in a few. The grey in question is the same grey which I used on the interior of the vehicles. I used this one for around the edge of the actual ring to give that colour for that. The actual green itself there is NATO Green, so that's by Tamiya. And then I applied this one. I always, when it comes to ground dioramas, I love this particular paint that Citadel make. It's like a sandy paint. It's got sand and grit and all sorts of stuff in it. And when it dries out, the effects are amazing, as some of you probably well know. And that's basically all I used really when it comes down to it. I tried to apply some little bits of green in places. I was going to add a bit of greenery to the thing, some tall grass. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I've done my tall grass, so yeah, if I find it, I'll use it next time round. But overall, as I say guys, for a test bed and for how things have come out in the end of the day, I didn't do a bad job, I don't think. It's what I had to work with, isn't it? It's how things are with certain projects. You can't paint things up if you don't have the details to paint with. And also, in case you guys are wondering, for the windshields, I used a tactical blue, which I actually forgot to take out of my drawer. Clever me. Where are we? I think, no, it wasn't that one. No, it wasn't that one. Where did I put it? Or was it this one? No, too dark, too light. Oh, come on, Griff. The point is, I used a tactical blue. And that's what I used for both the windshields. I mainly did this, so it was to give an appearance of a piece of glass. I was going to add some shattering effects to the glass, because obviously to make them look as if they were damaged. I mean, considering they're missing their gun shields and stuff, I mean, the original Halo game, as I pointed out before, they couldn't really be destroyed. So, yeah. It's all I had to work with. You guys understand how that is. Just what I had to re-save it. I can't think of anything else. So, yeah, as I said before, guys, this isn't going to be the last time we see the Halo stuff. More to come in the foreseeable future. And as like I say, next Friday we will have the list of vehicles in question that I'm hoping to build and paint in the foreseeable future. Obviously, the last thing I do want to mention to you all, guys, is the projects in question won't all be getting done at once. I'll only be working on them once I have the equipment and the bits and pieces I want to do with, and obviously once I have the idea on how I want to, display and all that stuff with them. So yeah, projects on Friday may be getting a bit slimmer, as I mentioned in my last lunar update, but I'll keep you guys posted no matter what happens, and we'll just go from there really. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. Take care of yourselves and have a nice weekend. Take care for now, guys. Ta-ta for now.